The Dyatlov Pass Mystery. What really happened on the Mountain of the Dead? In the frozen heart of Siberia, where endless forests give way to towering peaks and the wind itself seems to whisper ancient secrets, there lies a place that has haunted the human imagination for over 6 decades. A place known today as the Dyatlov Pass. It is a story that chills even the most skeptical minds. A mystery so bizarre, so deeply unsettling, that it remains unsolved to this very day. 9 young hikers, intelligent, strong, and experienced, set out on what was supposed to be an adventure through the Ural Mountains. Instead, it became one of the most horrifying mysteries in modern history. The journey begins. January 23rd, 1959. 10 hikers, students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnic Institute, gather in the city of Sverdlovsk. Their goal? To conquer Otorten Mountain, deep within the frozen wilderness of the northern Urals. At the head of the expedition is Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student, admired for his discipline, intelligence, and unbreakable will. Each member of the group was young, full of life, and highly experienced in mountaineering. They laughed, they took photos, they wrote in their journals, documenting every moment of their journey. They were not naive travelers. They were trained, certified, and determined. Among them were Zinaida Kolmogorova, strong and spirited, one of the 2 women in the group. Lyudmila Dubanina, known for her fearlessness and passion. Rustem Slobodin, a skilled athlete. Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonashenko, energetic and light-hearted. Alexander Kolovatov, a quiet intellectual. Nikolai Thibault-Brignol, a geologist with a sharp mind, and Semyon Zolotaryov, a 37-year-old World War II veteran, the oldest and most mysterious member of the team, joining the expedition at the very last moment. They were full of laughter and youth, trekking into the vast frozen unknown, unaware that the path ahead would lead. Days turned to weeks before a large-scale search was finally organized. The mountains were merciless. Snowstorms, freezing winds, and miles of treacherous terrain. Then, on February 26, 1959, rescuers made a discovery that would send chills down their spines. They found the hiker's tent, partially buried in snow. It was still standing, but something was terribly wrong. The tent had been slashed open from the inside, as if the hikers had cut their way out in a blind panic. Inside lay their boots, their coats, their food, and even their survival gear, all untouched. Everything perfectly arranged, as though they had fled suddenly, without reason. Why would experienced hikers run into -30°C weather, barefoot? Why leave behind everything that could keep them alive? Something had terrified them that night. The discovery of the bodies. The rescuers followed a trail of footprints leading down the mountain, barefoot prints, some only in socks, others in a single shoe. After about 500 meters, near the edge of a forest, they found the first 2 bodies. Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonashenko, lying beside the remains of a small campfire. They were dressed only in their underwear. The branches of the cedar tree above them were broken nearly 5 meters high, as if they had desperately tried to climb up. The bark was covered with pieces of skin and blood. A few hundred meters closer to the tent, rescuers found Dyatlov, Kolmogorova and Slobodin, frozen mid-crawl, as if trying to return. Each had died from hypothermia. Slobodin, however, had a small fracture on his skull, not enough to kill him, but enough to raise questions. It was horrifying. Yet the mystery was only beginning. The final four. 2 months later, when the snow began to melt, the final 4 bodies were discovered in a ravine deeper within the forest. Dubinina, Thibault-Brignon, Kolovatov, and Solotariov. Their condition defied belief. Thibault-Brignon had a crushed skull. Dubinina's ribs were shattered, fled in panic from an avalanche, but there was no sign of snow displacement, and the tense position on a gentle slope made it improbable. Military testing. Others believe the area was used for secret Soviet weapons experiments, perhaps parachute mines or radiation-based weapons. Some even claim that the hikers were accidental witnesses to classified tests and paid the ultimate price. Infrasound hypothesis. According to one theory, a rare weather phenomenon known as infrasound could have produced low-frequency vibrations. These waves can cause humans to experience intense fear, disorientation, and panic, driving them to flee irrationally into the night. Supernatural or extraterrestrial theories. Local witnesses reported strange orange orbs floating across the sky the night of the tragedy. Could it have been UFO activity? Or something far beyond human understanding? To this day, no theory fully explains what happened that night. Every explanation leads to new questions. Why was the tent cut from the inside? What caused the radiation? What terrified them so much that they ran barefoot into a freezing storm? The legacy of the Dyatlov Pass. More than 60 years have passed. The snow has fallen, melted, and fallen again over the same slopes, but the mountain keeps its secrets. Researchers, scientists, filmmakers, and conspiracy theorists continue to dig for answers. Every photograph, every diary page, every autopsy report is re-examined, over and over again, but the truth remains buried, somewhere beneath the snow. Today, at the site of the tragedy, a simple monument stands, 9 faces carved in stone, 9 young souls forever frozen in time. The wind that rushes across the Dyatlov Pass still carries their whispers, a chilling reminder that nature, fear, and the unknown still hold dominion over humankind. Even now, as we gaze at the stars and conquer the peaks of science, there are still places on this earth where logic ends and the mystery begins.